Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome back to the WWE 2K16 Universe Mode. Tonight is our next episode of Tuesday Night Raw and we are only now a couple of weeks away from our Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now I'm not quite sure what's going to happen at Money in the Bank, who's going to be involved in the briefcase and all that sort of stuff, whether the game will mix it across both shows, whether it will just pick one. But as I've said in the past, I'm not going to be touching the Money in the Bank ladder match. It is going to be between who the game decides to put it between. Mainly because if you try and change it, then it takes away the briefcase from the match I've found in the past. So I'm not going to touch it at all. So yeah, that's going to be in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, this weekend, it's not showing the screen that we are going to have the Global Cruiserweight Championship final pay-per-view this Saturday coming up, so be sure to keep an eye out for that as well. It's going to be a pretty damn good match, I think. A pretty good damn whole show as well. Of course, tomorrow night, we are uploading the semi-finals from that Cruiserweight tournament, so you'll see exactly who it is that's going to be fighting out for that first Cruiserweight Championship. And then we're also going to have a six-man ladder match to become the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship as well. But enough about all the other rosters. Let's have a look at the card I've got set for you this evening. To start things off, we've got Damien Sandow, Bam Bam Bigelow, Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan in a fatal four-way match. That's an interesting one. Next, we've got the Women's Champion Nikki Storm taking on Tamina. The game books the same match week after week after week. I'm not quite sure why. It's like it's an old 2K15 feud, isn't it? And we've got a Big Boss Man versus Goldust in a Falls Count Anywhere match. It's an interesting one. Continuing on our feud between the Empire and the Nation of Domination, we've got Tanga taking on D'Lo Brown. We're going to see the British Bulldog taking on Mr. R-Truth. Cesaro, the European Champion, takes on Drew Galloway. And then our main event is going to be the Raw Champion, The Rock. Again, just looking for more retribution against Roman Reigns, who The Rock still believes is alongside the Empire. And the person that asked the Empire to attack The Rock only a couple of weeks ago on Tuesday Night Raw. So we are only going to watch the 3 matches this evening. Need to try and get some of these videos done a bit quicker. But still, they're still taking about 40 minutes anyway, aren't they? So it's not too bad. We're going to skip the Fatal 4-Way, which was won by Sami Zayn over Daniel Bryan. Wow. I'm not surprised that Zayn's won, but I'm surprised that Bryan was one that was pinned. Nikki Storm, the Women's Champion, defeats Tamina once again. The Big Boss Man loses to Goldust. And then, wow, R-Truth's defeated the British Bulldog. That's a bit of a shocker. So we do actually have R-Truth and Goldust on the same roster. I wonder if we could just create the Golden Truth and just give these two guys a reason to be on the roster a bit more. We do have a lot of tag teams over on Raw anyway, so it's not going to be a massive improvement for us, but still it'd be nice to have an extra tag team. So we've got 3 matches left then. Tanga versus D'Lo Brown, Cesaro versus Drew Galloway, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And without further ado, let's get straight into the first match. And there is confirmation of that first match. Tanga from the Empire takes on D'Lo Brown from the Nation of Domination. And here we go. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm getting pretty good at my states now, aren't I? I want to go to America. I've never been to America, and I really want to come across to go to PWG. That would be my dream, to come across to Reseda, California, and watch the Battle of Los Angeles. The Battle of Los Angeles. A nice 3 days of solid top-class wrestling. And in case you haven't heard it, well, if you haven't heard it, where have you been? But in case you haven't heard it, Cody Rhodes has already been announced for this year's Battle of Los Angeles. He's the only person so far that has been announced. But that gives you some sort of indication of exactly where PWG are now as a company. S-A-W-F-T. Soft? Yeah, I need to change that entrance, don't we really? Yeah, it gives you sort of indication of where PWG are with the booking. And last year they brought in guys like Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, Aerostar and Drago. I wonder if we'll see them again there. Some of the names they normally would book up, like the likes of Zack Sabre Jr. and a few people like that. I wonder if they're going to be still available. I wonder if they're still going to be available, whether they might still be tied up with the Global Cruiserweight Championship. That's going to be an interesting thing to try and figure out. And judging by on how well the tapings of the Global Cruiserweight Championship have gone down recently, are these people going to be hired up? I can't imagine guys like Zack Sabre Jr. and people like that are not being looked at to be signed up permanently, because that's just absolutely terrible if they're not. Zack Sabre Jr. is just such an incredible wrestler, it just makes no sense for him not to be in the WWE. He could be their new style of of Daniel Bryan. There's that sort of type of wrestler. He's just so amazing. Zack Sabre doing just the sort of stuff he can do in the ring is incredible. And we are underway in our first match here on Tuesday Night Raw. Tanga and D'Lo Brown. Of course, the feud has been between the Empire and the Nation of Dominations, D'Lo Brown and Kama Mustafa. D'Lo Brown and Kama Mustafa started this feud by wanting some retribution against Tanga and Tama Tonga, who attacked The Rock while making his entrance only a couple of weeks back. And then from that, The Rock has pointed the finger at Roman Reigns. In fairness, it looks blatantly obvious that Roman Reigns is behind it all, isn't it, really? They're called the Empire. They've attacked the one guy that Roman Reigns is now in a feud with, and it just all seems to tie up quite nicely, doesn't it, really? Not to ruin anything, but I've just realised recently they've taken out the 6-man Elimination Chamber. The 6-man Tornado Tag Elimination Chamber. That's really annoyed me, that has. Because I really wanted to use that. I really wish they'd bring some stuff back, because it's really annoying me now. Just the further I go through the game, the more and more I realise just how much is missing from the game. And a lot of people probably wouldn't use things like that, but I do, and it seems pointless to take it out of the game when it's just not. It's not that different. It's just a slight change in the writing to the normal Elimination Chamber. So I don't know why they did take it out. It makes no sense to me. I want to see triple threat tag team matches back as well. I quite like triple threat tag team matches. Sidewalk slam there by D'Lo Brown. The Frogman. Brown now getting behind Tanga again into a shin breaker. Tanga goes down, looks in pain there, holding his leg. Yeah, looks in a lot of pain there now. D'Lo rolling him over. Clubbing blow against the back of Tanga. Now, of course, don't forget, as I mentioned earlier on, we are going to have the finale of the Global Cruiserweight Championship this Saturday. We're going to have a special card just featuring all the Cruiserweight talent that will be joining SmackDown. And that's not just the 16 guys that are going to be, or the 16 guys that have been in the tournament. There's also going to be a few other guys that SmackDown have brought in from other rosters that are also going to be joining up into that Cruiserweight division. I'm not going to give any names at the moment, but you have to keep an eye out for that. SmackDown roster is going to be a lot more high-flying by the end of this, but of course they are going to have to swap some guys out to try and bring in some of the other guys from other rosters. Tanga with a backbreaker there on D'Lo Brown. Of course, we saw last week Kama Mustafa took on Tama Tonga one-on-one, and D'Lo Brown came down to ringside and actually distracted Tama Tonga, allowing Kama Mustafa to pick up the free count. This week, it seems like the other half of the feud, Tanga versus D'Lo Brown, is going to be a one-on-one, which is good because the Empire really need to pick up some victories, because so far I think they've lost every single match in this feud. Tanga taking D'Lo Brown up, sit-out powerbomb. High impact move there. Or maybe I spoke too soon as there goes the music of Kama Mustafa, and Tanga distracted here, and D'Lo Brown's back up on his feet. Ready to pounce. Taking up onto his shoulders, and there is that tornado cutter by D'Lo Brown. D'Lo really taking advantage of the distraction caused by his partner, Kama Mustafa. Up on the shoulders, there's a Samoan drop. And Tanga is looking in a bad position right now. D'Lo Brown, there's the little head wiggle. Drops into the leg drop. In for the pin goes D'Lo. Is this going to be enough to pick up the victory? 1, 2. Oh, it's not. Tanga has enough left in the locker to kick out. D'Lo Brown now putting Tanga against the rope, and now takes him over the top to the outside. D'Lo Brown now joining Tanga out on the outside, hooks him in. No, oh, come on, D'Lo. There's no need for that, D'Lo. Spiked DDT on the apron. Tanga looks shaken. Sent straight into the apron now as well. D'Lo brings Tanga back up to his feet. And again, straight into the ring apron again. And D'Lo Brown just using such aggressive tactics now to try and finish off Tanga into the apron again. Wow. Tanga is being destroyed here. Of course, Tanga, for those of you who don't know, was Camacho, or is Camacho, who had a fleeting appearance for the WWE alongside Hunico before Hunico became Mystico, or Hunico became Sin Cara, shall we say. Tanga slides back into the ring. There's the snapmare. And now locks in that reverse chin lock, and he needs to really just hold on for a few seconds just to try and regain some energy. He's taken a few big hits by D'Lo Brown. And D'Lo Brown there takes him down, and that's going to be enough, isn't it? It is. D'Lo Brown picks up a victory over Tanga, and still the Empire really struggling here. Every time they feel like they're in a good position, like Tanga was in a very good position earlier on in this match. Then Cam Mustafa's music started, Tanga was firmly distracted, and D'Lo Brown just took control of the match from there on in. And it's ended up in another Nation of Domination win in this feud against the Empire. And I think we've already said as well, haven't we, that the winner of this feud will go on to get themselves a Tag Team Championship match, probably on the first week of next month. There was that big... I can't remember what you called that now. I cannot remember what you called it at all. I know you used to the frog splash and whatever that was. The lowdown. Was it the lowdown? Yeah, I'm sure that was the lowdown. So another great win here for D'Lo Brown. Another potential Cruiserweight champion should SmackDown come knocking. But of course, I don't think SmackDown would just want to take D'Lo Brown. They'd have to take the whole of the nation, which they can't do because then SmackDown would have two Rocks. And here is the rivalry result. Distraction. D'Lo Brown and Kama Mustafa continue to build momentum after distracting their rivals Tanga and Tama Tonga. So Tanga now is in a cold streak, not a situation he wants to be in. And D'Lo Brown's in a double momentum boost, a double hot streak, sorry, and a momentum boost. So, yeah, it's not going too well at the moment, is it really, for the Empire? And here is our second match of the evening. Cesaro takes on Drew Galloway. And here we go. Still in Phoenix, Arizona, which is always handy. As we see the European champion, is it? Yeah, the European champion comes out first, Cesaro. See, we've got him as the European champion, but I'm thinking after the roster split, you know, this guy could end up being at the very top of the card. I think this guy's finally going to get a championship run. I hope so, anyway. Because he's such a good face. I don't think he suits the heel character, but I think the face character he really just works so well at. And I wonder what's going to happen when Tyson Kidd returns as well. Are they going to try and reunite these two as a tag team, or is Cesaro, who's made a right name for himself since coming back after WrestleMania? I marked out so much. Cesaro returning was one thing, but Cesaro ripping off his suit and having his trunks underneath I just thought that was so funny and incredible when he did that the first time. And of course he's the European champion here. I'm surprised he's the European champion because I was convinced that he was going to lose that match against Macho Man Randy Savage a few weeks back. But he did manage to pull off the victory. And now Drew Galloway has been trying to force himself into this European Championship picture for a while. He already faced off against Macho Man Randy Savage for it at the Raw Invades ICW event about a month or so ago, about 6 weeks ago now, when Drew Galloway joined this roster. But now he's going to get another opportunity going against Cesaro, and this will be a pretty damn good feud actually between these two. And another guy that I would like to see come back to WWE pretty soon, if they are going to be bringing back some of the talents from beforehand to help bolster up their roster, then Drew Galloway and EC3 for me are two guys that should definitely be brought in. And I've said on a few occasions what my situation or what my thought is on the situation of those. Since Evolve is working very closely with NXT, and there's an unwritten sort of agreement between Evolve and NXT that Evolve will only hire guys that WWE are interested in signing. And after that whole thing comes to light, all of a sudden we see the debut of EC3 in Evolve, teaming up with Drew Galloway and doing anti-WWE promos. So that makes you think, doesn't it, really? It makes you think are they using this whole anti-WWE promo thing to try and build for a return for these two, Drew Galloway and EC3? I can't see why not, because they've both done so well since leaving WWE. They've really made careers for themselves. I think Galloway was always going to be a big name when he left anyway. Everyone knew how good Drew Galloway was. But EC3, old Derek Bateman, everyone just thought he's just a meathead. He's got the muscles, but he's got nothing to back it up. And in all fairness to him, he's made such a career for himself down at TNA. He's one of the top guys on the roster now. And as a face, I think, as a heel, he was very, very good. But as a face, he's fantastic as well. And he really has the ability to play both characters really, really well. Jawbreaker there by Dean Ambrose, and by Drew Galloway, should I say. And again, we're outside having a fight. Seems to be a bit normal, doesn't it? Neckbreaker there by Drew Galloway. Stamping on the gut of Cesaro. Now slides back into the ring. And Cesaro slides back in as well. Great front slam there by Cesaro. And Galloway now just beating down at Cesaro. Drew Galloway takes him round into a neck breaker, or dropping it onto the knee as well. It's like a double neck breaker. Galloway taking Cesaro over, dropping him flat on his back. Cesaro, though, taking him down into a double foot stomp as well. Claudio Castagnoli, good old Claudio Castagnoli. Of course, if you don't know, he once teamed up. He was a very effective tag team alongside Chris Hero. And maybe we'll have to try and reinvent that here in our universe mode at some point. Maybe allow Cesaro an opportunity to go for the tag team championships, but he needs to find himself a partner. Ergo, enter Mr. Chris Hero. That could be. We could do that in the future, maybe. I like that idea. Cesaro now clubbing blows against the back of Galloway, and both guys just staring each other down for a second there, and Cesaro that just spins around and catches Galloway nowhere with that big stiff uppercut into the pin. He goes two. Owner for a 2 count. Cesaro throwing Galloway into the corner. Galloway fights back with a back elbow now. A clubbing blow across the top of Cesaro now takes Cesaro up onto his shoulders. Now Galloway locking him in. White noise. Well, the air raid slam as it's known more on the indie scene. There's the pin by Galloway. Is it going to be enough? It's not. Cesaro able to kick out. Stiff right hand by Cesaro. Big chop. Now Cesaro taking Galloway up out of nowhere and dropping him into a very European uppercut. In for the pin. This could be enough. 1, 2, and no, Galloway kicked out. How on earth did Galloway kick out of that? And straight back up now and catches Cesaro in a Fez press, and all of a sudden Galloway looks a little bit pissed off. Now wrenching back at the head of Cesaro, knee in the back as well. Galloway drops to the outside. Cesaro joins him, and now the announce table, the top's coming off. Cesaro's just watching Galloway while Galloway's just ripping the top off. I don't know if Galloway realised that Cesaro's just stood there behind him. Now he does, and catches Cesaro before Cesaro has a chance to do anything about it. Now Galloway taking Cesaro up onto the announce table. And locks him in with a double arm DDT. Future shock DDT through the announce table. Galloway, if you leave him there, you win by count out. I don't know. Why do they keep picking people up all the time? Just leave him there, Galloway. If you leave him there, you win this by count out. Galloway now taking Cesaro up. Really? Really? Galloway hits a tombstone pile driver. And surely Cesaro's got to be down and out after that. Why are you not pinning him for? You put him through the announce table and you just hit him with a tombstone. Pin him, for God's sake. Pin him, Galloway. Nope. Back up to his feet, and that's why you got to pin him, Galloway, because Cesaro just catches Galloway straight away. Butterfly suplex. Cesaro rolling Galloway over, stamping on the back of the arm. Cesaro now bringing Galloway back up to his feet. Up onto his shoulders. We saw this earlier on the match. He's going to do it again, that big front slam. Cesaro just rubbing the face of Galloway into the mat now and then dropping an elbow into the back as well. Cesaro now taking Galloway up, but Galloway falls backwards and manages to reverse Cesaro into that reverse DDT. Now into the pin he goes. Only enough for a 2 count still. Cesaro fights through that big elbow to Galloway into the snapmare, and now wrenching back at the arm as well. That looks painful, that does. Galloway bringing himself back up and catching Cesaro right in the gut. Galloway taking Cesaro straight to the outside, and once again this match goes to the outside. I don't know how both these... Galloway just shouting in the face of Cesaro now. I don't know how both these guys are carried on, especially Cesaro. He's taking so much damage in this match. Into the apron now. And Galloway now have a German suplex onto the broken bit of table, and Cesaro just folded over as well. How painful did that look? Cesaro now sending Galloway back into the ring, and if Cesaro can pull off a victory here. Gets on the back of Galloway, big German suplex. Dropping a knee in the face of Galloway as well. Cesaro sending Galloway into the corner again. Sends him in hard. Brings him out into a German suplex. Quite a loose German suplex this time. And again, Galloway lands right in the back of his head. Cesaro dropping a boot on the back of the arm of Galloway. It's again bringing him back up to his feet. Great T-bone style suplex and a bridge as well. And it's... Oh, I thought it was enough. I thought that was enough for Cesaro to win the match, and see Cesaro struggling. I had to drop to a knee there for a second. A lot of energy taken out of him in this match by both guys, actually. Cesaro gets knocked silly with that right hand. Now Galloway taking Cesaro up. Air raid slam. Cesaro's down hard. Galloway now, can he go for the pin? 3 steps backwards, 3 steps forward. And again, wow, Cesaro kicks out. What a match this has been between these two guys. I can't believe it. I really can't. Cesaro now catching Galloway out of nowhere, takes him up. The neutralizer. Cesaro taking Galloway down, and that could be all she wrote. Cesaro taking a lot of damage in this match, but manages to turn it around and gets the... Oh my word. Oh my word. Just what, who, where, how, when. None of this is making sense anymore. None of this game is making sense to me anymore at all. At this rate, I don't think this match is ever going to end. It's just going to be please wrestle forever, which is what they've been shouting at Galloway, not Galloway, Nakamura. I believe they were chanting please wrestle forever to Nakamura and Finn Balor a couple of days ago at the last set of NXT tapings. Yes, you did hear that right. Nakamura did wrestle against Finn Balor for an episode of NXT. I think it was a number one contendership match, actually. Oh, looks like Cesaro's been busted open, and the first thing Galloway can do to help is just to punch him in that head again. Galloway now just dragging Cesaro around the ring. Stamping on the knee. Bringing Cesaro back up to his feet. Galloway now with a snapmare. And a big right hand to the side of the head of Cesaro. Now Galloway's just getting very stiff with his hits here. Cesaro's going to really struggle to carry on. And it's a match like this that I did hear, actually, when the game first came out, that if you do enough damage to somebody in a rivalry match, you can end up injuring them going forward. Now that's a possibility here for Cesaro because he's taken a lot of damage in this match. He's busted open, he's been put through the announce table, he's been caught by quite a few high impact moves, including that big gut buster. I think injuries are a good idea though for the universe mode. I think like damaged ankles, damaged arms, like bruised ribs, but if you have got like bruised ribs or damaged ribs, you should be shown a bit more. Like if somebody has got a damaged arm, then make them come to the ring with strapping around their arm, and the same with the ribs. There is the Future Shock DDT. Galloway takes him down. He's got to fall into the pin now. You've got to go into the pin, Galloway. Don't walk backwards and walk forwards. Just pin him. Galloway with the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Drew Galloway does pick up a victory over the European champion Cesaro. And that was so hard felt for both guys. What an incredible match. What an incredible match. I don't know how it lasted so long. I don't know how Cesaro lasted so long. Being put through the announce table quite early on in the match and being hit by a tombstone power driver and some other very high impact moves. Galloway survived a very European uppercut. He survived a neutralizer as well. He survived loads. Both these guys deserve real plaudits for this match. It was incredible at every single level. You see Galloway there. There is the... Wow, that was just incredible, wasn't it? Double arm DDT, Future Shock DDT through the announce table. This is where Cesaro just caught Drew Galloway straight away into the neutralizer, and that was the point where I had my pen in my hand ready to mark this down as a Cesaro win, and then all of a sudden Drew Galloway kicked out on the brink of 3. Got no idea how he pulled that one off. But you see Drew Galloway manages to catch Cesaro, hooks both the arms into a Future Shock DDT, and 2K, please write this stupid "I'm going to walk over here, then I'm going to walk over there" sort of thing to do after they've hit a finish of him, because it makes no sense. Just pin him. When you hit a high impact move like that, you've got to get the pin in straight away, and walking around the ring just doesn't work for me. So 2K, not that you're ever watching, you only ever watch my channel when you want to try and copyright claim one of my videos, but yeah, if you could fix that, that'd be great. So, great win here for Drew Galloway. That's really cemented himself as the #1 contender for that European Championship. And here is the rivalry update. Like I just said, new #1 contender. Drew Galloway has been named the new #1 contender after a strong showing in a non-championship match against Cesaro. This puts Cesaro on a cold streak now. Wow, that's a bad position for him to be in. But of course, Drew Galloway has now been put onto a hot streak as well. So the way it's looking, I fancy Drew Galloway for this feud. You know, it just seems like that's the way it's going. And here we go with our main event of the evening. The Raw champion, The Rock, takes on Roman Reigns. And here we are, take number 2. Hopefully this time the cutscene works. God, this game does my bloody head in, it really does. The referee rings the bell and Roman Reigns just flattening The Rock, just pummeling him in that corner. Great start here for Roman Reigns. The referee unhappy with the way it started though, pulling Roman Reigns away from The Rock, and The Rock is in danger here in the corner. And because of that, I think we're going to have to play the match. We're going to have to play the match as Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns got the advantage from the cutscene. So basically I have to play the match, because if I don't play the match, then Roman Reigns just stands exactly where he is now and stares at The Rock, and The Rock stays exactly where he is, and the whole game just breaks. So I'm going to have to play the match. I don't like doing that normally. I'm not very good, so I'm not necessarily going to win. Especially since I can't remember how to run. It's been that long since I played the game. Big knee in the corner by Roman Reigns. Turns The Rock over, and already The Rock's he's injured and damaged and all sorts, so we're looking pretty good here. We need to probably use our signature maneuver when we can. I don't know how to use our signature maneuver, to tell the truth. Have we got to run at him? I think we might have to run at him. There it is, the big Superman punch. It's not enough yet though, not enough yet. We want to continue the assault on The Rock. Big sit-out scoop slam. And you tell you what, this has been quite easy actually. I'm not normally as good at the game. Normally I've been reversal quite a few times by now. But obviously the advantage of having the damage done earlier on. Oh, big boot to the face by The Rock. And now The Rock catches with a knee in the gut. So it's been quite an interesting feud between these two. We've seen some Some very interesting cutscenes we've not seen many of. Oh, I don't know how to do this though. How do I do this? I've forgotten how to do this now. Alright, can I do this? Yes, we did do it. We did do it. Nice. Went for that belly to belly, but Rock reverses with that arm drag. Come on, game. Let's have some assault. There we go. Taking Rock over. Big clothesline. Are we ready? I think we are, you know. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Why not? Lining the Rock up. Big spear by Roman Reigns. And that assault before the match could end up being enough for Roman Reigns to pick up the freak out. In for the pin we go. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Roman Reigns does pick up the victory over the Raw champion, The Rock. But how much has that big assault at the beginning helped Roman Reigns here? I can't believe I won a match for a change. I tried to do my career mode and record it a few weeks back, and I lost every single match. So I'm a bit surprised here that I've actually managed to win this one. But of course, we had the advantage from the beginning. We did that big attack at the beginning. Roman Reigns attacking The Rock. With even a signature maneuver straight from that Superman punch. And then, of course, we hit the spear as well. And Roman Reigns picks up a very important victory over the Raw champion, The Rock. Of course, we know that Roman Reigns and The Rock will be meeting in a couple of weeks' time at Money in the Bank for the Raw Championship. And now the momentum seems to be in the favour of Roman Reigns. So everyone, that is the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit that like button. It does really help me out. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of the WWE 2K16 Universe mode. Be sure to check out tomorrow. We'll have our semi-finals of the Global Cruiserweight Championship uploaded. And then, of course, on Saturday, we are going to have the Global Cruiserweight Championship finale pay-per-view for SmackDown. So be sure to keep an eye out for that as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow for the Global Cruiserweight Championship semi-finals. And, of course, on Thursday for our next episode of Thunder.